Okay, good morning students. Welcome back to botany class. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is viruses. Right. Actually, viruses are poisonous particles. Poisonous particles. Okay, right. See. Viruses are simple acellular ultra microscopic and ultra microscopic obligate parasites. Obligate parasites. Okay, viruses are simple acellular, means the virus does not consist a cellular structure. For example, a cell means it should consist the cell wall, and after that plasma membrane, then cytoplasm, nucleus. In that nucleus genetic material should be present. This is the structure of cell. But here the viruses does not showing the cellular structure. That's why they are called as acellular, because they are containing only a protein coat inside that DNA, RNA, that is nucleic acid is present. Okay, that's why they are said to be acellular and ultra microscopic, because we cannot see with our naked eye. We can see only with the help of the electron microscope only. Electron microscope. Even with a light microscope also we cannot observe the viruses. Only with the help of electron microscope only we can see the viruses. So that's why they are said to be ultra microscopic. Okay, so here electron microscope क्या है? एक microscope है. Okay, it is a microscope in which the electron beams are using. Okay, so this was first invented by Nall and Ruska. Electron microscope was invented by Nall and Ruska. So next, what is this? Obligate parasites. Okay, obligate means 100%. Means you see here. So parasite means the organism which depends on others. So here what I am saying, obligate. Obligate means 100%. मैं बोल रहा हूँ. अब देखो, without the host means this is the organism which gives food and shelter. Okay, so for example, this is a human body or plant cell, isosome. Okay, upon this only the virus particle will live. Okay, right, you see here. So without this host it cannot be live. It means without host the virus cells will be said to be alive. Sorry, क्या बोलते इसको? They are said to be dead. Okay, in the presence of host only they can be said as live, but without host they can be said as the dead particles. Okay, that's why we are saying obligate parasites. Okay, right, next. And viruses consisting nucleic acid covered with or enclosed with protein coat. Okay, so here the nucleic acid, two types of nucleic acids are there, DNA and RNA, but viruses are consisting either DNA or RNA. Okay, so both the nucleic acids are not present in a single virus. Okay, so the virus may consisting DNA as their genetic material or RNA as their genetic material. Only one type of nucleic acid is present inside the protein coat. Right. So next, the study of viruses is called virology. The study of viruses is called as the virology. Okay, next, viruses are said to be biological entities. Biological entities. So it means independent existence. It means they will present all over the world without depend on the atmosphere. Okay, they are independent in their existence. Okay, right. Next, viruses do not function independently. Okay, without the host they are said to be the dead. Okay, not live. So that's why viruses do not function independently. Okay, the requisites of cell, okay, so you see here they are the ribosomes, and the cytoplasmic environment is absent in viruses. Okay, you see here the requisites of a cell means the components of the cell, like the ribosomes and cytoplasmic environment means the mitochondria, plastids, okay, glycosomes, nucleus, ये सब absent रहता है viruses में. Okay, right. So next, due to this they are obligate parasites. Okay, समझ में आएगा? Right. Next, they use the space present inside the cell and synthetic machinery of the host cell, okay, to synthesize their own proteins and nucleic acids. Okay, you see here. So for example, you take cell, this is the host cell. Okay, so here the host DNA is present like this as shown. For example, a virus particle enters into the cell. Okay, so it will use the space inside the cell and the machinery. Machinery means here the host cell's machinery means metabolic activities are controlled by the genetic material, that is DNA. Okay, so it will take control of all the activities that are going on in the cell. First they did that. So then they will prepare their protein codes and the genetic materials, either DNA or RNA. Okay, and finally they will collapse the cell, means they destroy the cell and produce more number of viruses like this. Okay, you see here at the first only one viral particle will enters into the host cell and it takes control the activities of the cell and it will synthesize its own protein codes and the nucleic acids, okay, inside the host cell, and finally they destroy the host cell and release more number of viruses. Okay, so this is the process how the viruses will damage the hosts. Okay, right. So next, viruses have been victimizing the mankind since the beginning of the history. Since the beginning of the history. Okay, so they cause different diseases like smallpox, yellow fever, poliomyelitis, and rabies. Okay, so these are the diseases which were caused by the viruses in early stages, but in ancient days they cause AIDS. Okay, so for you see here all these diseases were controlled by different types of vaccines which were made by the scientists, but here nowadays the most dangerous disease which is caused by the viruses are AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This is the full form of AIDS. Okay, so this disease was caused by a virus called HIV. HIV means human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, so up to today also there is no vaccine to control the disease AIDS. Okay, but nowadays it means since the December of 2019 we are in danger with the virus called corona. Corona is also virus, so it causes some different diseases in the human beings, particularly in the lungs. Okay, due to this, so today the whole universe was facing the problem. Okay, right. So next, so Edward Jenner is the scientist. Edward Jenner is the scientist. So he made the vaccine for smallpox. Okay, so while trying to understand the nature of smallpox disease, he developed the vaccine without understanding the true nature of infectious agent which is involved in this disease. Okay, so you just remember that Edward Jenner is the scientist who made the vaccine for smallpox. Right, next. Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur. Okay, in 1865 developed the vaccine for rabies. Okay, right, next. So from this it was most important one. The actual credit of discovering the viruses goes to Ivanovsky. Okay, he demonstrated that the agents for the causing the mosaic disease of tobacco, okay, were filterable agents. Okay, so which are smaller than bacteria. You see here. So who is the scientist? Ivanovsky is the first scientist to demonstrate that the agents which are the causative agents for the mosaic disease were filterable agents which are smaller than bacteria. Before this the scientists were thinking that they are poisonous particles. Okay, right? समझ में आ गया? Right. So here you see Louis Pasteur. After describing the vaccine, he called the causative agent as virus. Virus means poison. According to him, he described that agent as virus. Okay, right. So next, you see here. Okay, for this Ivanovsky made an experiment. You see here. So you take the tobacco. You take this. This is the tobacco plant. So this is the disease causing leaf. So this disease is called as tobacco mosaic disease. Okay, so you take these leaves which were caused by the disease. Okay, right, and he made a paste with the leaves. Okay, and filtered it. Okay, after filtration he got sap. Okay, so when he sprays this sap on healthy leaves, he observed that the leaves will get disease. Okay, that's why he can conclude that the disease causing agents were in the liquid form. That's why there is filterable agents. Here, after filtration also, in that sap consisting the disease causing agents. So this experiment was carried out by Ivanovsky. Right. Next. Next scientist is Beijering. Beijering is the next scientist. He established that the filterable infective agent was diffusible like a liquid. Okay, he concluded that the sap after the filtration, the sap which contained the infective agent was a diffusible like the liquid. He called the infective agent or disease causing agent, infective agent, as contagium vivum fluidum. Contagium vivum fluidum. Okay, you see here, contagium, it means it will क्या बोलते इसको, there is a chance for contamination. Contamination means the spreading. One young healthy leaves to the infected leaves to the healthy leaves. Okay, that is what the contagium. Vivum means living. Fluidum means they are in the liquid form. Okay, so it is said to be living infectious fluid. Living means vivum, contagium means infectious, fluidum means liquid. Contagium vivum fluid. Who described? Beijering described the infective agent as contagium vivum fluidum. Okay. So next, however, he was not correct, as later it was proved that viruses are particulate and not a liquid. Okay, but later on viruses were confirmed that they are particulate and they are not in liquid. So that's why he was not correct. Right? So next, the one more important scientist, W.M. Stanley. W.M. Stanley is the scientist ultimately succeeded in crystallizing the virus, okay, which cause mosaic disease in tobacco. Okay, so he named them as TMV, means tobacco mosaic virus, TMV, right? So next, pyri and Bowden. Pyri and Bowden are the two scientists analyzed these particles. That means the TMV. These particles chemically and demonstrated that they were made up of proteins and nucleic acids. Okay, you see here, Pyri and Biden were the two scientists who analyzed this TMV and demonstrated that and concluded that the infective agents, that is TMV, were made up of proteins and nucleic acids. Okay, right. Next, Gerer and Schramm. These are the two scientists proved that the real nature of nucleic acid is infectious. It means not protein, only the nucleic acid is the causative material, infectious agent, and the genetic material. This is the genetic material. Okay, right? So next, Frankel and Conrad. These are the two scientists they made the TMV consisting the genetic material as RNA. Okay, they concluded that and they confirmed that the genetic material which is present in TMV is RNA, right?